What's up everyone, Off the Cuff Reviews here. My name's Alex and today we're diving into something a little bit different again. So let's check it out. Today we're going to be watching some disturbing burglar videos. This is listed as the 6 most disturbing burglar videos on the channel Chilling Scares. I think I checked out a dash cam video of theirs before, so we're going to be checking out burglars getting caught on camera, and I wanted to I wanted to check out something a little bit different. And this is supposed to be pretty disturbing and chilling, so let's check it out. All right.
In 2023, news of a string of break-ins started to spread in Franklin Township on the southeast side of Indiana. According to the news reports, thousands of residents were afraid to leave their houses after hearing about a thief who had ransacked over 24 cars and homes in less than a week. On Tuesday, July 13th of that year, a woman named Carla Wilson woke up to find that some of her jewelry was missing. Confused, she walked around her house looking for where she could have possibly left the jewelry, and that's when she noticed her front door was open.
Right.
In a panic, she looked through a ring camera footage from the previous evening, where she was shocked to see some grown man walking around her garage in the middle of the night.
Right.
In the video, a bearded man wearing a hoodie to cover his face can be seen walking around Carla Wilson's garage and grabbing a can of WD-40. As per the victim's statement, the man first broke into the victim's family car, which was parked outside a few days ago. This is where he had stolen the car's garage door opener, which is how he was able to get into the garage in the first place. The man simply pressed the button to open the garage, broke into the Wilson's other car, which was inside her garage, and stole money, an iPhone, and a pair of sunglasses. Though still unsatisfied with all of this, the man then sprayed the WD-40 he found in Carla's garage down the side of her door to prevent it from squeaking, then picked the lock to break into the house itself, where he can then be seen on another camera.
Right.
Upon entering the home, the man walked straight to Carla's bedroom and saw her sleeping directly in front of him. Unfazed, the man proceeded to casually stroll around the living room for about a minute as he stole multiple pieces of jewelry, including the victim's favorite diamond ring, all while she was sleeping in the next room over with the door open.
Jesus.
Thankfully, Carla slept right through the incident, and after spending 7 minutes in her house, the thief walked out the front door and never came back. For the cops, it was obvious that the man was an experienced burglar, and it's pretty creepy how well prepared he was to rob Carla's house, even taking measures to prevent the door from squeaking. This led the police to believe he alone was responsible for all the dozens of break-ins that were occurring in the area in the last week. It must have been incredibly disturbing for Carla to look at her Ring camera and find this man walking around her home with ill intentions and watching her in such a vulnerable state, knowing that he could have hurt her if he wanted to.
There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of people
that woke up the next morning unscathed and was able to use the video to warn her neighbors. Although it's pretty common for burglars with this many successful robberies to eventually get caught during one of their dozens of attempts, this time the man was never identified.
There's like people that are like professional burglars.
On June 18th, 2017, a man named Jeff D. came home from work at 3:45 a.m. and found that his house had been ransacked and vandalized by an unknown intruder. Thinking a video might serve as evidence, Jeff immediately started documenting the damage in his home as soon as he got inside, walking his viewers through the destruction the intruder left behind.
Okay, folks, I came home from work today. Today is the morning of the 18th of June 2017. Someone broke into the house.
Are they like still in the house?
just started destroying things. Now, they evidently slept on the couch, got the Kool-Aid out of the refrigerator. I'm not touching anything until the police get here. If I don't know if they're going to do any fingerprints or anything. I'm trying to figure out. They just started throwing things and breaking them. It doesn't look like they were stealing a lot of things. Here's firewood that they used. I mean, there are so many things here they could have stolen. And all they did was break stuff.
As soon as he records the damage, it becomes pretty clear that this is no ordinary burglary.
Right.
Instead of taking any valuables, the thief ate Jeff's food from the fridge, turned the place upside down, and didn't even bother to clean up the evidence of his intrusion, including a glass of Kool-Aid and a slice of pizza he left on the floor next to the couch.
Pause. When the guy that's... Okay, I don't mean to laugh, but when the guy that's filming said, oh, I might be, fingerprinting, it just made me think of Superbad and how when in the scene where McLovin gets punched in the face in the liquor store and then he reports the crime or whatever to the police and then he goes on the ride with the police and Seth Rogen is like, yeah, when I started, I thought everything was covered in cum. Now if the robber ejaculated and then stole stuff and then we could find him, and I'm just thinking of that because I think that's it popped in my head. Oh my god, just what a funny movie, we need more movies like that. But this is wild regardless. It just made me think of that because I'm like, are the police gonna really fingerprint because somebody burglarized I don't know. I don't know. Let's get into it. Honestly, yeah, that's kind of what people do. Oh, I'm gonna pause this. When I was younger, we had a Jeep, and we had multiple cars. There was we had a Jeep and another car. I forget what type of other car. It was my mom's car, and then the Jeep was my stepdad's car, and somebody stole the Jeep. This was a long time ago. I lived in New Jersey at the time. Someone stole the Jeep, and all they did, and it was an old, beat up Jeep, a really old Jeep, not a nice one or anything. It was really old and beat up, rusted. And then they took it, they just drove around, trashed the vehicle, I'm not even kidding, they filled it up with garbage, and then just left it somewhere, and then went and left. What? Why? What? For what? For what? Why are you just filling shit with garbage? And you know what else? It's this is just making me think of that. They just go, somebody just steals something or burglarizes something and they just trash it and leave. And it's for what? What's the point? And another thing is I go urbexing, urban exploring, and you go into abandoned buildings and whatever. I'm not there to break and enter and burglarize, but you enter. And then you'll enter maybe an old house that somebody owned, and it's somebody that literally moved out, or maybe it's a building that used to be a public building or something. And then people who broke in there to burglarize the place, actually just trash it and just literally will just dump huge things of trash in there. And it's for what? Why are you doing that? That's crazy. And just destroying it. For what? Just crazy to me. It blows my mind that there are people in the world. And listen, if you're gonna go and you break into something and you steal something, at least you have a motive of doing something. When you go in and you literally just trash a place, for what? What's the point? What are you getting out of it? Nothing? I don't understand. All right, let's get back into it.
From multiple pieces of pottery to stained glass windows to a clothes iron, whoever broke into the house apparently just wanted to have some fun throwing things, breaking furniture, and generally making a mess of the house. For the next few minutes, the recording continues in pretty much the same way, with Jeff narrating the damage caused to his property. But when he goes upstairs and steps into his bedroom, he finds something extremely disturbing.
What do you mean? Are you gonna, like, check it out, or call the police? That's not the most reasonable thing, is it?
Chillingly, the footage shows a random person sleeping on Jeff's bed. Shocked at the sight of the stranger, Jeff did the only reasonable thing to do at that moment and locked himself in another room while he waited for the police.
Okay. Which probably is. Yeah.
After finding the stranger in the victim's bed, the cops asked the intruder if he's under the influence of drugs. And even though he denies it, it's pretty clear that he had tried to open some of Jeff's prescription medication bottles.
Yeah, because he's probably
when asked what he's doing sleeping in another man's bed, he claims he doesn't know how he ended up there. One of the things that's most surprising about the footage is that for a guy who just single-handedly destroyed an entire house, the intruder went down pretty easily, not even putting up a fight when the officer put the cuffs on. Even more disturbing is the fact that the man doesn't even seem to remember his own name, suggesting he was almost 100% under the influence of something during the break-in. Later in the investigation, the identity of the intruder was revealed as 39-year-old Stacy Foster, a Fraser's Bottom, West Virginia resident who was consequently charged with nighttime burglary and destruction of property following his actions at Jeff's house.
One of my things is like,
following the charges, Stacy was
he
placed
just like
in
locked
Western
himself in a
Regional
room. I would have fucking got that guy up. I would have beat his ass.
But it wasn't publicly announced what the authorities decided to do with him.
Get out of there.
Nor was it revealed how he ended up vandalizing.
So you're gonna let someone in your house
and sleeping in a stranger's bed.
I ain't waiting for the cops. Get him out. Someone tried
on Monday, July.
Pause this. Somebody tried to come in here, in this place, like, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago, maybe. 2 weeks ago, we were cooking dinner, and it sounded like our door like tried to. It was locked. It sounded like it was trying to open, and then Ashley went to go check it out, and it was like, because, and here's the thing, Ashley's parents like live here, like not here, but like in the building, and sometimes her parents come here, and I'm pretty sure like we were actually waiting for her mom to come here, and luckily we had the door locked because we usually keep it unlocked for when Ashley's parents are coming here. Like if her mom needs to like come grab something, or like, you know, we have cats, and Ashley's parents sometimes take the cats, take a cat and whatever. And I think that's actually what was going on. And luckily the door was still locked, but somebody tried to get in. So Ashley goes and checks out and didn't even look through the peephole because she's just assuming it's her mom. Unlocks the door, opens it, and it's some strange guy. And the guy goes, oh, I'm sorry. And Ashley's like, what the fuck? Because, like, it's just, like, some strange guy. And then he scurried down the stairwell. And then we told the landlord or whatever, and they checked the cameras. And, yeah, but it's like, what the fuck? I don't know. Like, we're vigilant here. Like, we're not like, oh, let's go do... We're fucking, like... You're trying to come in here, and we're putting up a fight. I'm sorry, it ain't happening. Like, it's like, who the fuck are you? Get the fuck out of here, you know? Like, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing? But, just, wild. You guys have to like stay aware of your surroundings.
25th, 2016.
Seriously?
A man named Jack McArcher and his girlfriend Jordan Baranskis came back from dinner at a restaurant.
We were thinking
near
about getting a camera.
And fell asleep watching TV on the couch, as they
too, like a
often
ring
like to
camera
do.
or something.
The next day, Jordan realized her purse was missing, leading to an argument in which Jack accused her of leaving it at the restaurant. To find out what really happened and put the matter to rest, the couple retraced their steps by scrolling through the previous night's surveillance videos. When they rewound the tape to around 3:30 a.m., they found something pretty terrifying.
I feel like I've seen this video, like on TikTok or something.
A man who the couple didn't know
Scary.
stood at the top of their stairway looking down at them sleeping on the couch below. He had apparently snuck in through their unlocked front door, silently walked past them up the stairs, and proceeded to stare down at them for a total of 4 minutes, just hovering above them as he watched them sleep. Disturbingly, the man moved so slowly and quietly through the house that he didn't even wake up the couple's 2 dogs who were sleeping at Jack and Jordan's feet next to the couch. As soon as the couple reported the incident to the cops, the sheriff mentioned he suspected the same man was probably responsible for other neighborhood burglaries that had taken place in the days leading up to the break-in of Jack and Jordan's house. In the days following the incident, some nearby residents even uploaded pictures to Facebook of the intruder casually riding through dark alleys on a bike and attempting to break into homes. And after reviewing their doorbell footage, it's clear the man was looking for an entryway into any one of the homes. It's pretty strange to see how someone who managed to sneak into a house undetected by the couple and their 2 dogs decided to only walk away with a purse, but thankfully the thought of harming the victims never entered his head. In an interview with WGN-TV, Jordan said she liked to think the man was watching the TV and not them sleeping on the couch, but that much would be impossible to confirm. After the incident, the couple were left understandably shaken. But despite their efforts to warn their neighbors and the manhunt that followed the disturbing incident, the suspect was never found. Flushing, Queens is generally considered by its residents to be a relatively safe place to live. But in 2015, footage of an incident at a house on 33rd Avenue near Union Street went viral and put a lot of the neighborhood's residents on edge. One night in late November of that year, security cameras caught a man wearing a backpack and a black cap with the word "Diamond" written on it, casually walking up to the front door of this 4-bedroom house.
Wild. Just
After
like
entering
insane.
through the unlocked
like,
back door, the intruder can be seen prowling around the house on his
like you're just trying to steal
avoid
phones.
detection. And a few minutes later, he drops to his hands and
What are you trying to
knees
steal?
and crawls on the floor while holding what appears to be a knife between his teeth. Disturbingly, the homeowners were lying in the bed in that same room while the burglar crawled around and snagged a cell phone from one of the dressers. Although this was the end of the video that was released by police, the seconds that followed were even more intense, as the homeowner revealed that just moments later he was woken up by the sound of the intruder crawling on the floor. Upon seeing the homeowner jolt out of the bed, the suspect immediately got up and fled, and fortunately nobody was injured during the incident. During the investigation, police described the suspect as 6'2" and 200 pounds, but despite the incriminating footage, they were never able to find him. It's pretty disturbing to imagine what he was planning on using the knife for,
Probably still breaking
especially
into
considering
places.
that
That's what
along
they
with the
do.
2 adults in the same room, there were also 3 kids
That's what
in the
these people
house at the
do.
time of the break-in. After the incident, the homeowners mentioned they learned their lesson and never left their back door unlocked again. As for the suspect, what he went on to do with his life is anyone's guess. On the evening before Thanksgiving in 2020, Joey Archer, his wife Beth, and their young daughters were asleep in their home in Raynor, Washington, when they were suddenly woken up by the sound of their doorbell ringing ferociously at around 6:30 a.m. Immediately, Joey got up and ran to the front door, thinking it could be a neighbor in need of help. While her husband rushed to greet the stranger, Beth checked their security cameras and noticed that her car was no longer in the driveway. To her horror, she also saw a bearded man she didn't recognize trying to break into Joey's car with a shovel.
Come here. Come here. That's wild. Jesus Christ. Okay, wait, no. No, you're gonna knock the camera over. Come on.
Shocked at what he saw when he arrived at the front door, Joey decided not to confront the unstable intruder and immediately called the police to report the incident while he helplessly watched the man damage his car with the shovel. While all this was happening, Beth ran to their 2 daughters' bedrooms to let them know that someone was trying to break into their house and told them to jump out the window and run to the family's barn to hide while they figured out what to do. As the girls ran to the barn, Joey noticed the stranger had taken his attention off the car and was now using the shovel to break down their front door.
That's crazy.
Realizing his life and the safety of his family was now in danger, after the intruder had broken the glass on the door, he yanked the shovel out of his hands at just the right moment and used it to hit him on the head twice before chasing him out into the yard and subduing him while he waited for the cops to arrive. Following the incident, the family chose not to identify the man due to safety concerns, but the cops promptly charged him with residential burglary, criminal trespassing,
but that's insane. And also, what do you mean you don't want to identify the guy
into their property? The Archers reviewed the footage and looked at everything the intruder had done prior to them waking up, including jumping over the fence to get into their driveway. As they soon realized, the man had been on their property for about half an hour before they woke up, rummaging through their garage and backing one of their cars into a ditch. In a Facebook post he made after the incident, Joey described the invasion as every dad's worst nightmare and encouraged other nearby residents to install security cameras for their family's safety. After the nightmare the Archers went through, Joey bought a shotgun and a pistol and upgraded his barn's security and surveillance systems to prevent a similar incident from happening again. As for the intruder, it was never confirmed if he was under the influence of something at the time of the invasion. But the fact that he rang the doorbell for several minutes before trying to break into the car and then the house suggests he was likely not in his right mind. It's possible the man was suffering from the effects of a pretty severe mental illness, but because the Archers decided to keep the case private, we'll likely never know for sure.
This specific one.
This footage was recorded in March 2019 by security cameras in an apartment in the Bronx, New York. The disturbing footage shows an intruder prowling around a baby's nursery, where a 2-month-old baby lay sleeping in her crib. Although the suspect doesn't seem to be showing any interest in the sleeping child, it's still pretty disturbing to see him do something so evil and selfish right in front of an innocent baby. After rifling through the baby's bedroom for a couple of minutes, the suspect was scared off by the sound of the baby's 32-year-old father walking around in the living room. But instead of calling it a night, the man then broke into another apartment on a different floor of the same building, which belonged to a 28-year-old woman.
Or something.
This time, his burglary attempt was successful, and he got away with some jewelry, a
the
bicycle,
NYPD
and a
is
backpack.
useless, by the way.
As it was later revealed, the man entered both of the apartments through the unsecured fire exit windows. Even though the man's face can be seen pretty clearly in the footage, and the NYPD put out a Crime Stoppers alert on him, after the man fled the area, he was never seen again.
Okay. That was crazy, guys. That was insane. Some of those videos really were chilling to the bone. To just see somebody like walking through where you live, all of your stuff, just going through it, rifling through it, like they have no right to do with it. It's just like that type of shit is scary. That's scarier than like a ghost or whatever you think. Like, you know, it's just that type of shit's scary. You're sleeping, someone's walking around your apartment while you're sleeping, looking at you. Wild. Just insane. I don't even know. Wow. What do you guys think? Have you guys experienced any of this kind of stuff? Let me know down below. Do you guys have like Ring cameras? Yeah, let me know. Just let me know if you guys like if you guys are like being vigilant about this kind of stuff. I'd love to know. But yeah, I will see you guys on the flip side. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for tuning into one of these videos. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. They call me a god. 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 Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top.